After months of waiting and long hours in the delivery room, my twins are here in the world. This was the happiest day of my life and that of my husband, but as a doctor brought the kids, there was something different about them. At first, we just laughed it off. Maybe they took after a distant ancestor. While I was in the recovery room, my mother-in-law, Karen, came in. She wanted to see her grandchildren. Karen has never liked me. To be honest, I don't care. Right now all I care about is our family. When the kids were brought in, she was so excited. But when she saw they were a little bit darker, all hell broke loose.
Oh, really?
Hi, my name is Jane and this is life story of one, Mr. Stevens, and how he changed my life and the lives of my kids. I was raised by a single mother. I never knew who my father was. My mother never really talked about him. All she said was that he was a good man and that he had his faults, but he did his best. That's all she will say about him. I met my husband Robert while I was studying. I worked part-time as a waitress to help pay for school. Plus, the saving from my mother helped as well. After my studies, we got married. We've been married for over 3 years. Robert is the son of Abraham Conwell, one of the richest family in town. As the firstborn son, he will take over the family business, which means a lot of gold diggers will try and get him, and a lot of responsibilities are on his shoulders. When we first met, he was very gentle, kind, and also very honest. He was not like most rich people that I came across within my line of work as a waitress. We started dating shortly after we met. It wasn't fancy dinners or fancy trips, and he didn't buy me expensive things. He knew I hated them. Then one day I met his parents. His dad and him looked alike. People could mistake them for brothers, except that the dad was a bit older. His father welcomed me with open arms. He also introduced me to Robert's other siblings. Robert had 2 younger brothers and 3 sisters. But the one that made me feel uncomfortable was his mother, Karen. Karen looked at me like I was some street trash, unworthy to be in the family. But with the blessing of Robert and his father, I was welcomed, regardless of my background. After getting married, we decided to wait a little before having kids. I was trying to get my career up and running, and I didn't want to be known as Robert's wife and be dependent on him. Sometime later, I found out I was pregnant with twins. The whole family was overjoyed. Karen, my pain in the neck mother-in-law,
Emotional damage!
was using this opportunity to lay a seed of doubt in the family, saying things like, "I'm unfit to be a mother. What do I know about kids?" All to get under my skin. My mom, my uncle, and his wife, along with my cousins, stood up for me. Robert also along with his dad. But the rest of Robert's family started going along with Karen. Now that I have delivered my kids, it didn't help that they were a bit darker. When Karen saw them, she went on her usual ranting, calling me an unfaithful wife and so on, saying the kids are not Robert's, that I cheated on him, and now brought these 2 black kids in our lives. Robert, my calm and cool husband, said he trusts me completely. The only logical explanation is that maybe we have black ancestry, so to clear the seed of doubt and prove how much he trusts me, and to stop his mom for good, we can do a DNA test. I was so happy to hear how much he trusts me. I was hoping this will put Karen in her place and get her off my back. Sometime later, the test results came out and I was shocked. It claimed that Robert was not the father. Robert was heartbroken, but I assured him he was the father. I have never been with anybody else. But Karen jumped right in and said she was right about me. I'm an unfaithful wife and the gold digger. I begged everyone to believe me. I have been faithful, and I asked that they take the test again. They did, and the results were the same.
Oh my God!
After that, I was kicked out of the family. Karen made sure of that. Shortly after the incident, Robert's dad passed away. He was the only one that believed I was innocent but without proof. It was my word against theirs. Life did not get easy after that. No matter where I went in town, people looked at me and called me names like gold digger, home wrecker, and so many other unfriendly names. My only comfort was that my mom and some of our close friends and family stuck with me. This made the accusations bearable. When I was strong enough, I decided to leave town with my kids. I wanted to put Robert, his family, and all the trouble they caused behind me. My mom and I moved to a new town hoping for a fresh start. I tried to get a job, but unfortunately, the scandal had blacklisted me, so I couldn't work anywhere. All I could do was get a waitressing job. Fortunately, my mom and my aunt helped me. With the kids, I worked in the restaurant for over 2 years. In the meantime, I kept improving my studies and skills. I've always wanted to have my own company, be my own boss. This will prove to myself I can do it. One day, a well-dressed man came to the restaurant. He looked a little bit familiar, but he was a bit old and rugged. He looked like he needed a shave, if not for the simple clothes he had on. I'd say he was a homeless bum. I've seen him before a few times, but I never spoke to him. This was the day we chatted up. "Hi, my name is Jane. What can I get for you?"
Hello, I would like some coffee and pie, please.
Okay, is that all?
Yes, for now, thanks. And my name is Stevenson. Thank you.
Okay, coffee and pie, coming right up. I got Mr. Stevenson what he wanted. Turns out he's a teacher and a collector of antiques. He's in town for some time on business. After he was done with his coffee and pie, he left and came back the next day. This went on and on for a while. One day I was so upset because of a recent job interview. I was sure I will get it, but the person in charge knew of my experience in the past, and he tried to take advantage of me. Mr. Stevenson, being a regular and someone I considered a friend, was nice enough to hear my story. I told him everything that happened, how this manager tried to offer me a job if I'd be his side piece. Of course, I turned him down. I'd rather be homeless than work for him or with him. He's a real piece of work. Mr. Stevenson said people like him get what they deserve. Don't worry, it will all work out. He then suggested I send an email to the HR department and make a complaint about him. So I did just that. One day, after another failed interview, I received an unexpected message from the same company where that creep worked. They asked me to come for another interview. They liked my CV and someone recommended me for the job. I was not sure if I should go. I did not want to meet that man again. Mr. Stevenson found out about the interview, and he asked me about it, the new time and date. I told him I'm not sure if I should go back there. I do not want to be humiliated again. He said I should go back. He has faith that this time things will be different. On the day of the interview, I was shocked. The staff was brand new and the company got an upgrade. It felt very different, like a home, more relaxing. The interview went very well. A new person gave the interview and was more professional. Yes, he knew about my past and did not care about it. All he cared about was my performance at work. Right there and then, I got the job. I told this to Mr. Stevenson and he congratulated me. Within a short period of time at the company, I was promoted to the CFO position. This means bigger pay and a new life for me and my kids.
Nice.
Years have gone by now. My twins, Jack and Jamie, are now 10, and they are the most well-behaved kids in the world. Mr. Stevenson is their art teacher, among other things in their school, and he's quite protective of them. He loves them like they are his own kids. Sometimes at school, some teachers make fun of my kids, and they like saying all sorts of things about me. Mr. Stevenson is always there to defend us from these teachers, and sometimes other kids bully my kids because of these nasty rumors. So Mr. Stevenson took my kids to a boxing gym, and let's just say, the next time nasty kids said nasty things about me, they regretted it. One day, Mr. Stevenson didn't come to school. At first, I thought he must have traveled, like he always does. It's not the first time. One day he's here, the next he's not, but this one felt different. I hoped to God nothing happened to him. Around the same time I got news. My ex-husband Robert was in a car accident. He didn't make it. It's been almost 14 years. When I heard the news, I was depressed. Deep down, I hoped we get back together, even though I heard he has a son with somebody else. I'm glad he was with someone, as was I myself. I'm seeing somebody. He's a good man, Mr. Stevenson, and the kids like him. One day I got a call from Robert's lawyer, and he would like me and the kids to be at his office. I didn't want to see Robert's family, and I didn't want anything from Robert. I'm sad that he's gone, but I don't want anything from him. The lawyer said it's very important that I'd come to his office with the kids. My boyfriend suggested that we go out of respect and for the kids, and so we did. I met his lawyer, but I didn't see any of Robert's family. Not his brother, not his wife, not his mother, nobody. The lawyer explained that the reading of the will should be for me and the kids first. The lawyer was a young guy, very polite, and seemed to be very professional. He said Robert and his dad were friends. He was the only one that never put him down for coming out or being so young. We got down to business. He first showed me a video of Robert explaining everything. But before that, the lawyer asked if I knew someone named Mr. Stevenson. I was shocked to hear that question. I asked him how does he know him. He said Robert will explain it, as he played Robert's video message.
Hello Jane. Long time no see. You look more beautiful than the first day we met. If you're watching this message, then it means I'm gone, and for that I'm truly sorry. I know you're mad at me for everything, leaving you and not being in the kids' lives. Please let me explain. When the kids Jack and Jamie were born, it was the happiest day of my life, but when my mother started doubting your devotion as a loving wife, I agreed with her request of having the kids tested, because I had complete faith in you and in us. When the doctors came back and said, the kids are not mine, I was angry and heartbroken. I was mad at you. I refused to listen. I let my mother poison my mind. Shortly after that, my dad got sick, and I blamed you for it. One day while I was going through my dad's things, I found a picture of my grandmother with a black man. At first I thought it was nothing. When my dad was a bit better, I asked him about it. He said the black man was his biological father. Back in those days, interracial couples are not allowed, and unfortunately, he was attacked by sick thugs. I lost my grandfather due to hateful and ignorant people. Shortly after that, my father was born, and since he was a bit light-skinned, nobody knew who the father was. His mother was forced to marry somebody she hated very much. Fortunately, he was a complete moron. He didn't suspect the thing. After her moronic husband passed away, he left all his fortune to my grandmother and my father. Then before my grandmother passed, she told him everything, who his real father was, but also asked him not to tell anyone because her late husband's family will come after him, so it remained a family secret. That explains why the kids had chocolate skin when they were born. So before my father died, he told me to take a closer look, knowing what kind of person my mother is. He suspected something, and so I did. It turns out she paid off the doctors to say the kids are not mine and get you out of the family. She wanted me to marry her friend's daughter for control of me and the company and more. When I found all this out, I was shocked and most of all afraid. If she could do this, who knows what she could have done if we got back together. On top of that, she and her brother are involved with shady people, and it looks like some of my family members as well are in on it. This revelation hurt so much, I couldn't leave fearing what they will do. And I couldn't be with you, or so I thought. An actor friend of mine came up with a plan, a way for me to be with you and the kids, and not be with you at the same time. My friend was an expert in voice acting, and his wife taught me how to apply makeup to change my appearances. We got the idea from the movie Mrs. Doubtfire. After months of training, we got the right face and the right voice. Then I decided to use my grandfather's name, Mr. Stevenson.
What?
Yes, Mr. Stevenson was me all along. You always said I was a terrible actor, so I got professional help. I couldn't be with you as myself, but I could be with you as Mr. Stevenson and help you whenever I can to guide and protect our kids.
It all makes sense now. Whenever I had a problem, I told Mr. Stevenson the problems went away. It explains a lot like that creep at my interview going away, my southern promotion at work, my creepy ex-boyfriend who suddenly disappeared. Robert has been protecting me and the kids, all the birthdays, holidays, school events, the times. I wish Robert was there with us. He has always been there. I feel like such a fool. Deep down I knew Mr. Stevenson reminded me of someone.
You don't have to worry now, my love. At the time of this video I have set wheels in motion to take down Mom, her brother, and any other family member that will try to hurt you. I have sent every evidence of their criminal activities to the proper authorities. I leave all my possessions to you, Jane. My wife Helen is an unfit mother for our son. I ask that you take good care of our child. His name is Michael. He's 6 years old and he's such a sweet kid. Jack and Jamie have met him, and I have always kept him out of the media, so nobody will make the connection, and keep him safe. You've met him as well. When I was Mr. Stevenson, I introduced him to you as my little cousin on that summer event. All he knows is, on that day I was playing a game with some friends. I'm happy that they got along well. Please, my love, forgive me for not telling you the truth, that I was Mr. Stevenson all along. I wanted to protect you from my mother's evil. I wanted to protect our kids as well. You don't know the pain I felt not being with them or with you, but at least I could protect them and make sure they never felt like their father never cared. Take care of yourself, and your new boyfriend is better than your last one. I'm always yours. Goodbye.
After hearing this, I was shocked, lost for words. Not only did Robert leave me a fortune, which was in the billions, he asked me to take care of his son. When I first met this small boy, he looks so much like Robert, but my son Jack looks a little like his grandfather. As for Jamie, she has his beautiful eyes. After going through the formalities, I'm now the richest woman in the country. Robert's fortune is worth 80 billion.
Damn!
Our kids will never lack anything. Me, Jack, Jamie, and now Michael. It's been 5 years now. I've married my boyfriend. We have 2 girls together. Karen, her brother, and all those who were involved in the company's shady practices are in prison thanks to Robert's evidence he gathered over the years. Jack and Jamie are starting college. Michael's in high school. As for my 2 girls, with my new husband, we are one big happy family. Whenever we get together for any event at home, we talk about Mr. Stevenson or Robert, the guardian angel of our family. We are all pretty close. Every day, I miss Robert, but thanks to the 3 children he left me with, I know he's with me.
Question: has something like this ever happened to you, or to somebody you know? And if you were Robert, would you do something this crazy to be with your family to keep them safe? Let me know in the comments. Take care. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.